Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody out there in the On the Chain world? XRP sale alert or XRP blast off alert. BTC isn't going to hit 150. Actually, isn't going to hit 100. It's testing that $100,000 mark. XLM bull market buzz. Everyone's talking about the Stellar because Stellar just seems to be skyrocketing. Massive gains year over year. We see BTC, XLM, XRP, big gains overall. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of green in the crypto world. People are getting fired up. People are getting excited. And that's right. Alchemist just said, GTFO, Gary. Gary announced a huge departure. Just happens to be on an important date, January 20th of 2025. And stay tuned throughout the show because there will be a badass YETIS giveaway today.
There will be.
Yeti White Tribe from the White Tribe.
Right Tribe. Let's go. You guys ready? Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome to On the Chain. Gary Gensler resigns. I was hoping he would stay on and just get humiliated and just get taken out. People are like, please resign. I'm like, no, please do not. I begged him not to resign.
Can you imagine?
Like, please, I want you to be humiliated is what I was looking to have happen.
Hang in there just for a little bit.
Just to get bounced. And sometimes you can read the room and you can see the writing on the wall, but everyone's like, please resign. And people are crying, I want him to resign. I'm like, come on, dude. Once Trump won, it was over. That's all you had to know. That's all the information you needed to know. And everyone's like, I just hope he resigns. And then there's other people that I was like posting and saying, I hope he doesn't drop a bomb on the way out. I go, dude, it's over. Trump is coming in. It's over. None of this matters. Get it out of your head. But they might do something. He might do something crazy. It doesn't matter, dude. It's over. People don't understand the word over. New sheriff in town, right?
It's over.
New sheriff's in town. Yeah, it's cooked for sure, man. I mean, it's like when it's over, and you can't get any better than that, man.
Right. This was the scene. It's what Alchemist is talking about. He was looking out his window, and there was just such a rowdy scene out there. I think we got some audio clip of it. Let me see here. There we go.
Sounds like the new, yeah.
I think that was the latest audio clip from Gensler's office. I think that was right outside the window. He opened up the window, and then he made the big announcement. He gets it. He knows what's coming.
But does he think that Trump's not going to be inaugurated on the 20th? Like everyone else is resigning the day before, but he's resigning on that day. Like, is it symbolic for him? Is he trying to be like he's someone special? I don't understand it, quite honestly.
I think it is. Why can't he resign on December 20th like any normal person?
That's a good point. No, he's going to stay there to the bitter end. He's going to tell you about how great everything is. It's what he's been saying. He's like, everything's been great. Everything's been clear. You know what's clear? You're done, dude. You're baked. And you know what else is clear? You'll never be Treasury Secretary. But we'll talk about who will be, and it won't be Gary Gensler.
It definitely won't be Gary Gensler.
He thought he was going to get the Treasury job, Jeff. That's the best part of it all. What time is it over there in Thailand, Alchemist?
What a squadoosh. Hey, everyone, as you come in, why don't you guys give a quick shout out where you're tuning in from? Let's see what part of the country, what part of the world you are coming in from, where you're listening from. That'd be really cool. And Scott M, good point there. Look at that. Gary wants more time to cause damage. He wants to hang out there for right to the bitter end is the key. Kelly, good point. John D, thank you for that too. Hope you guys get the subscribers you deserve during this bull run. People are getting fired up. People are joining. People are getting psyched because of, the turn of the times. That's what's really nice about it. As things heat up, people get positive. People love to follow the FOMO, which is good. People want to find out what's going on. And then, obviously we're going to spend a lot of time talking about things like XLM, Stellar. And we might even talk about Dogecoin at 46 cents. Or we might even talk about XRP that hit $1.55 not too long ago. And Bitcoin that's hovering at that $100,000 mark. So when people see that, they get fired up. And that's a good thing. But the
Yeah, Mike.
key for continuing this development is development. Want to make sure that people are actually using and building and finding actual real use case solutions. And it's great when we see people pouring in here that we haven't seen in a while, like XRP Carolina. What is up,
Carolina's here, man.
XRP Carolina?
OG.
Man,
Talk about the oldest OG in the space right here.
OG in the space.
Yeah,
Man, no,
I
sorry.
love that.
You click, I click. You click, I click.
Good morning,
Dude,
all. This is John D. Not to be
it's a
confused with
flag.
Jim D, who's missing in action. He probably didn't get the notification. We got to wake him up. Someone set a search party for Jim D. Thank you,
Jim
John.
D.
Appreciate you,
John
man.
D.
Thank you for that.
John D. What's up, John
Early
D?
on the morning. Germany's in the house. Yeah, Germany's
With
going
all
to
of
have
our,
revolution next. Australia and loving the movement of XRP. Damn
man, we
right.
got a lot of fans over there in Australia. And it was fun being over in Australia when we were there. It was great meeting people over in Australia, and hopefully we'll have that opportunity to meet people again very, very soon.
Look at that, Jeff. Look at that. That ought to be an NFT right there. Jim sold the pump. He's gone. He's gone. So
He's gone. That's
you
it.
need 100,000. You didn't need 100,000. He's
Sold
out.
the pump and he's out. He's done.
Good one.
We're not
Look at
going to
this
hear
right
from
here.
him ever again.
Gary Gensler, on January 20th, 2025, I will be stepping down as
Package that up.
BTC chair. Damn, a thread. He actually made a thread about this, Jeff. Dude, this is all
Is
you
it
need.
a real thread?
Well, the weird thing was, like, I didn't even read it because all I needed to see was says, I don't care what he says. Well,
That's
let's
all
just
that
check
matters. That's why.
it. The SEC is a remarkable agency. Is it? The staff and commission are deeply mission driven. Are they? They are, but you're not focused on protecting investors. Facilitating capital formation, ensuring the markets work for investors and insurers alike. The staff compromises true public servants. Gosh, she's really digging deep here, Jeff.
Where's the DEI part of that?
Well, it's probably come. It has been an honor of a lifetime to serve with them on behalf of everyday Americans and ensure that our capital markets remain the best in the world. And I thank President of the United States for entrusting me with this incredible responsibility of screwing over investors. No, he didn't say that. The SEC has met our mission. This is a bunch of horseshit. And enforced the law without fear or favor. Well, see you later, stupid. See you,
done.
Stupid.
Gone.
Gonzo. Read the full announcement, dude.
No, we're not going to do that. We
have
got the summary. We got the abridged version.
Look at this. Look at this whole nonsense. What with treasury markets, equity markets?
Oh my God! Did he really have to do this?
Corporate governance disclosure. He's probably been working on this for 2 months, Jeff. Accounting and auditing. During Chair Gensler's tenure, the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board, known as the PCAOB, overseen by this horseshit. Examinations and enforcement. Probably talking about the crypto stuff. More than $250 million to harmed investors through examination of investment advisors, investment companies. And then about Chair Gensler. Chair Gensler is a squadouche. That's all you need to know.
Squadouche.
Squadouche. He's a squadouche.
There we go.
That's my. But you know what? I had a comment on this.
Yeah.
The anus of a blue whale can stretch over 3 feet, just shy of the biggest asshole in the world, known as Gary Gensler. So there you go. There you go, right there. That got a lot of love. I got some love there. And then, of course, a good buddy of ours made this meme, who remains anonymous, but this one is great. Not this Christmas, of course. This is a meme of from Die Hard. Got Bruce Willis on the top there saying, not this Christmas. And you got Gary Gensler falling away from the building. If you are familiar with the scene, you kind of know how that goes, but there you go. And that's, of course, Brad Garlinghouse as Bruce Willis. So, not this Christmas. This is a great meme. And how great is it? Man, fantastic. That's the second version. The first version got over 1,000 likes, man. People were digging this meme a lot, and I did not create it. Not take credit for it, but after my buddy sent it to us, and I said, hey, this people have to see this. He's like, So we went ahead and posted it. And this guy here, look at this guy. See, here we go. This guy, Jason S., keeping my fingers crossed he does not do something stupid on the way out, getting flashbacks of Jay Clayton's last day. Like, he's irrelevant. It's over. There's a new sheriff in town. End of it. Oh, don't count on it. He's not gone yet. He's going to get one last XRP kick in before he goes like Clayton on the last day. Not going to happen. And it doesn't make a difference anyway. And I responded with, Trump is coming back and a brand new pro-crypto world is on the horizon, baby.
I got a full summary, just a 1-paragraph summary of everything, of his announcement. So it says here, Gary Gensler spent 3 years hosting a financial circus at the SEC where rules were optional, transparency was foggy, and accountability was just a myth. Billions mysteriously vanished from investors' pockets while Wall Street partied like it was the roaring 20s. As he steps down, the markets are left in a state of utter chaos with loopholes wide enough to drive yachts through. Truly an honor of a lifetime. Thank you, Gary Gensler. It's not quite accurate, but the crypto market's heating up, not because of him, and actually is very oppressed and suppressed.
Who wrote that? That's great.
What's that?
Who did that one? That's fantastic.
That was thank you to ChatGPT. I had to get a summary of what he wrote. So I say, please read between the lines of what he wrote. Give it to me in a abridged version so I don't have to waste my time reading his announcement.
Oh, gee, one rough Rican in here. Good morning. Just wanted to take time to thank both of you for being here. Glad we are making moves in XRP, and the sky's the limits to all the hodlers. Congratulations. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
So here's the question. Alchemist, he says, I have to see 100K by Thanksgiving, but you have to see, but what happens if you don't?
He has to come on
the other side of it. What's the other side of it?
Coming on the chain.
If it doesn't hit 100,000 because you have to see it, well, yeah, you're coming on the chain. But here it says, now this is important at every Thanksgiving meal right now. Make sure, per Alchemist, be sure to tell all of your non-coiner family members to FOMO in this Thursday.
No coiner. In other words, they don't own any tokens. They own nothing.
They own nothing.
They're nothing.
They didn't listen during the down market to at least get
this one
something.
Here. Good riddance, you dirtbag. And this one here. See you later, Gary Gensler. Look at he's stressed as a giant.
Oh, come on.
Nothing but slow growth. This Valentina Gomez is great. Can you hear, Gary? We're celebrating your exit. Yeah, everybody's celebrating. It's a whole just pile on there. Stephen Naderoff, while agreeing to resign won't resolve you of your countless atrocities, at least you can take pride in having done the right thing at least once during your reign of terror. So that's Stephen Naderoff we've had on the show here.
We did, yeah. He was a lot of fun.
He was fantastic, yeah. And if anybody could battle the SEC and win, he went up against the Feds. Look at this one. It's just so right on point. Who's the new villain who is going to be next? We don't even know. Look at this. Bye, Gary. Boom, kick to the curb. See you later and F off. There's just so much. How to stop XRP. You can't stop XRP, Gary. XRP is not a security. All these funny freaking memes. You got to love it, Jeff. You got to absolutely love it, which I do.
Senzo said, I told my family to FOMO over the summer when we nuked, but they called me retarded. And there you go.
By the way,
just sold all my XRP. Let's go. That's right. And there's some good comments here. Look at this one here from Scotty. Brad Kimes gave you guys a nice shout out on his video yesterday. Invites you guys and your fans to participate in XRP Las Vegas 2025.
Well, I hope he can
out. Good.
God, I'm gonna go check that video out because I do watch a lot of Brad's videos. I did meet him in person. Didn't go so well. Let's put it that way. It just didn't go as well as I would have hoped it to gone. And he said he wasn't going to unblock me, and I'm still not unblocked. So I'm glad if he's having a change of heart. I like the sound of that. And
that'd be step one, though, Chip.
Trying to extend an olive branch, like, hey, let's have some unity. We don't have to agree on everything. It's cool if we don't have to agree. You know, I mean, I was hanging out with people that maybe we have difference of opinions, but so what, man? Let's have some discourse. But
did you ever release your latest song?
I did not. Oh. And I'm kind of glad I didn't right now because I would have been just pouring gas on a fire. It wouldn't have been a good thing. So if he did indeed say that and extend an olive branch, good. I'm glad. I'll put a comment in there because I said, hey, I comment on your videos. I watch your videos. And he goes, I don't have time to read them. I have too many. I go, I understand that. I go, we have six comments for 3 videos we do. So we have plenty of time to read them. So we don't have your problem. But no, that's good to hear, Scott. Appreciate you delivering that information. Brad's a good guy. He used to come on the show. We used to have a laugh. It was a lot of fun, man.
Kimes flooded BTC for over 6 years, then capitulated and bought in at 60K.
And so what? Everybody has a chance to come around. This is the whole thing. Everybody has a chance to change their mind and opinion on stuff, right? So this is what makes the world go round. Look, who's the one dude, the Bitcoin millionaire dude that had a couple startups? He talked about like having opinions held loosely, meaning that he's open to changing his mind. I always love that statement Peter, what was his name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he would always say, I hold these opinions loosely because he wants to be open to changing his mind. Doesn't want to hold them too tight, but that's just what he's feeling at the time. And that's somebody who's, has a successful mindset. And so Brad bought it at 60. He's almost up double, right? He's up at least 80%. So that's not a bad thing. So, maybe we need to just get Brad back on the show, bury the hatchet. Let's all be friends, I think that's the best way to do it. Let's see. I wanted to pull up this. What else do we have here? Where is it? Oh, I thought this was funny. This was good. So Stu Alderati had to get in on the fun, and I'm finding Stu has a pretty good sense of humor. He really does. I mean, he put up this post up on X, which I can't apparently share the right screen here. Hello, people. Here it is, right here. Look at this. This is what Stu Alderati said. I call this piece.
I wonder what show it was.
It's a piece of, so for the podcast listeners, it's a canvas with an orange that's duct taped to it, and it looks like an art piece hanging in a gallery. And he says, "I call it not a security. Opening bid $5 million. Serious inquiries only." That's some good stuff right there. Stu's a funny guy.
What was up with a banana? Who's buying a banana duct taped to a wall?
Well, that's what he was. That was what he was. I don't know, and it went for like $5 million or something, right? It went for even more than that, maybe. I don't know what the actual.
It's so crazy. It's just so crazy about that,
Trying to find.
Joe Buddy said Kimes definitely get held out an olive branch for all the YouTubers to do. Come on, you know what? All right.
All right. Well, good. I'll watch the video and we'll see what happens. We'll check it out.
I'm not losing sleep over it either way.
Did I delete it by mistake? I don't even see it in here. Damn it.
We're not the ones who started any animosity anyways.
Oh, Jeff, we
just doing our thing.
We're just doing our thing, man. That's all it is.
Right.
That's all we're doing is just our thing. Yeah.
Justin's son bought the banana. Is that what it was? Justin's son paid $5 million for the banana. He must have something coming up. It was just a big publicity stunt, or maybe it's just a way to launder money. Imagine you got to move money to somebody and like, hey, I got this great idea. I'm going to do this art project. I'm going to stick a banana up on the wall with some duct tape. Then you can just pay me $5 million. Give me the $5 million you owe me. And boom, just like that, money's laundered.
Yeah. Well, that's what we
thought. We thought that banana.
The greatest, money laundering tool ever made, because it's pretty much almost anonymous, right? You don't know who actually purchases it, so it's a fantastic.
There you go. Good way to pay for
laundering. It best.
Always a scam. A guy recently bought it, 2 years old, and promised to eat it. There you go.
Well, how about the dude that bought that?
It's like, what the heck?
Who's the graffiti artist over in the UK? What's his name? But he bought that, and then as soon as he bought it, it went through a shredding machine.
That was great. That was awesome.
That was it. That was the art, Jeff. That was that simple. Let's look at this. Well, I'm glad. Happy days. We have a lot to be thankful for.
6.2.
We got Thanksgiving coming up here in the United States, and look at this here, United States. And Brad Garlinghouse, he says this Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for Gary Gensler's resignation.
That's right. Banksy.
Dude, yeah, Banksy. Guy buys it, and then all of a sudden you hear this sound. Brrr, the whole art piece ended up just shredded at the bottom, hanging out of the piece. That was the piece.
That was it. It was done. Sweet.
Guy probably pasted it all together and put it back in the frame. Who knows? That's an odd thing, but that was a lot of money. Then he also said, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Scott Percent is the perfect pick by Donald Trump. My God, Brad Garlinghouse is going full-blown MAGA here, man.
That's right.
He will be the most pro-innovation, pro-crypto treasury secretary we've ever seen. Jeff, that's quite the testament, no?
It's amazing.
You think
the stuff we've been seeing coming out of Brad Garlinghouse, regarding Trump before the election, little cues. You and I talked about, is he pro-Trump? Is he MAGA? That was before the election. Now you're seeing even more cues, stuff like this. And this is really positive. I mean, just to see the momentum, but you're starting to see him express some of his internal opinions that he's kept a little bit bottled up. Alchemist saying he's playing the game, but we saw this happening before,
Oh, yeah, we
so
saw it
the
before, yeah.
game, when we were saying that, it just, there's things coming out that he's saying that just don't align with the leftist agenda. And then you see Larson come out and do what he did, supporting, and he was very vocal. Brad was still keeping it bottled up, but there was enough from different interviews leading up to that point where you could tell, kind of the direction that he was moving in.
But Jeff, you
And
remember
now he's even more vocal.
the video we played of Michael Arrington that was on stage with Garlinghouse years ago when Trump was still president? And he said, "Oh, this guy, he's a Trump supporter." And he was like, "Oh," he took him off guard. And we're like, MAGA right there. He's just being, keeping his, like, he's from Kansas or something. He's from the Midwest, okay? He's probably not a diehard liberal. I mean, he can always convert, but it's probably unlikely.
Yeah.
I like the way he played it. He didn't do any endorsements. He didn't say this way or that way, but now he's leaning into it. And maybe Alchemist, to your point, there's some of that. There's some of that, but I think he's a little bit over the top. He would just say, "This is good news for the world. This is good news for, crypto."
Yep. And Alchemist, it's also why Deaton will never be appointed to anything.
Yeah, but if I start putting Deaton tweets up, they're so pro-Trump that's unbelievable. I'm like, look, he was running in Massachusetts, man. He couldn't come out and say, "I'm Trump." He couldn't do that. I mean, that was his campaign.
He felt like he couldn't do that.
His platform, big on immigration, stopping fentanyl, the high cost of food, inflation. It was a very much a conservative sort of a viewpoint. And the only thing, he was pro-choice. That was the only kind of one that sort of, was where that was the only thing, but everything else was pretty much in line with what Trump has been saying. There hasn't been much. But who is this Scott Bissett guy? Let's take a look at two videos here. Let's take a look at who this guy is.
Who is this guy?
Nominated for Treasury.
I've been excited about the president's embrace of crypto, and I think it fits very well with the Republican Party, the ethos of crypto's about freedom.
Yes, it is.
And the crypto economy is here to stay. The Democrats are running from it because they're trying to wash off the stench of Sam Bankman-Fried and his family's donations to the Democratic Party. So they're willing to take down a whole industry because of bad behavior on their part, bad behavior one actor. And I think that everything's on the table with Bitcoin. And to me, one of the most exciting things about Bitcoin is for a generation of investors who maybe post the great financial crisis had been looking for investment opportunities, or maybe they'd soured on markets. Crypto is bringing in young people. It's bringing in the people who haven't participated in markets, and having a market culture in the U.S. and people believing that markets work for them is a centerpiece of capitalism.
There's a lot to unpack there, but the two things that I really connected with, you said there is, he talked about the freedom, right? Digital assets, they're basically freedom, decentralization. He's saying the right message, and this was before Trump even went and spoke at Bitcoin conference. I was watching the title on the screen. And also he talked about the Democrats were trying to wipe off the stench of Sam Bankman-Fried, which he laundered money, right? They sent it to Ukraine had sent it off to FTX. FTX put it back into the pockets of the senators and House representatives. So this is a great one. Here's another clip from Bissett.
I think we've had a rally for most of the year because the markets were sensing that Donald Trump was going to win. And then last week, when he won, we had market was up 4.7%, the S&P for the week. The small cap index, the Russell the ETF had the biggest inflows in 17 years. The bank stocks are doing well. And, I've called it, we have the potential for the golden age here, because if we unleash U.S. energy independence, energy dominance, I think we have the potential here to do a massive amount of deregulation, which really didn't get enough airplay This administrative state has been holding down U.S. business. And then I think, Charlie, what's fascinating and very hopeful for me is in Trump 1.0, everyone did well. Working people did well, the stock market did well, big companies did well, small companies did well. Under Harris-Biden, it was a bifurcated economy, and only the rich and big did well. So, we had this Mag 7, the 7 big tech stocks in the stock market, and then the top 10 or 20% of Americans have never done so well. And the bottom 50%, they got killed economically, and they came out and revolted. On Sunday, I had conversations with two of the greatest venture capitalist household names in America, and they are so constructive that the U.S. could enter this new golden age, powered by, they basically said, like, Scott, if Team Trump can get the economic framework and the regulatory framework right, that the technological innovation that we are about to see accelerate through AI and other industries could lead to a new golden age in the U.S. And they said, look, you and Larry Kudlow are the highest that we could have 3% growth. We think it could be 5% growth.
So
that is
all this gaslighting that they were doing, Jeff, during the campaign, you had a woman who was cackling, right? She couldn't put a sentence together. She couldn't show up. Now, we know how Biden won, right? We know how all those extra votes that disappeared throughout the edge of time. But they thought they were going to do it again, and it wasn't going to happen again. There wasn't the infrastructure, too big to rig. And the thing about Harris was the constant gaslighting, Jeff. I mean, it was to a point of where it was. I got to the point of where I said, dude, if you and I said it's a landslide, we called it landslide. And people are like, it's not going to be a landslide. There's no way it's going to be a landslide. She's the greatest president that's ever, vice president. It was nonstop with the gaslighting, Jeff. It didn't stop. It was just in our faces. And people around the world are celebrating because they know it's about to better for their country. Your thoughts there?
The whole world. I was just having a conversation yesterday about this, on how much love Trump is getting right now across the board. Look at the NFL, all the celebrations. Look at all, people everywhere doing the Trump dance. But more than that, it's, symbolic. It's the symbolism of good times to come, success, positivity, moving back into normalizing the balance within the world. We had such an imbalance. The one thing people don't like is to be told what to do and controlled by government entities. Now, there's obviously countries out there that are completely controlled by government entity through socialism, fascism, communism, whatever you have, and it's all these isms. But the one thing all those people share with everybody else in the world, they want freedom. The problem is there's massive numbers of I don't say there's massive numbers of followers that are willing to parade after the banner of fascism and socialism. And many of them are just ignorant, naive. Many of them are just followers, but they're easily fragmented because freedom always reigns. And that's exactly what we've seen. Have seen a lot of silent support over the past years because people are afraid to come out. Why? Because these big numbers supposedly on the other side are actually a minority controlling the majority, because that's what you always get in a socialist fascist state. You always have this small group that control the larger group, but they do it through intimidation and force. And we saw the exact same thing rolling out here. You'd have people parading in the streets. They're trying to suppress commentary. They try to suppress your rights, but they do it through intimidation and force. And it's very effective. And when the government is at play and they're attacking political opponents, and then they're coming after individuals and they're arresting people and they're doing all these horrible things, and then they're letting the crazies in the asylum run the asylum, then you have lots and lots of problems. But that's what the past years have been all about. You have someone like a Gary Gensler, controlling the SEC against retail investors while coming out and saying that he's doing it for the good of the retail investor while propping up those who are trying to dismantle all, positive growth in this country. But at the same time, they're going after retail investors. They also targeted institutions because they started imposing on all these corporations. They started imposing DEI rules and regulation, which would also then impact corporate growth, would impact generation of revenue. It would impact job growth, and then there's a trickle down phenomena, which would then impact the people that are trying to invest and people that are trying to work and live their life, and skyrocketing inflation and all. They created this environment that was so negative, and now we have an upheaval of it. And so this is where the positivity is coming from. You and I have maintained, the realistic viewpoint from start to finish, as far as in terms of where this country has to be from a political perspective, where this country has to be from an economic perspective, and then always reading, through the lines of, what is real versus what is fake, and that is, I think, very, very significant and poignant, even down to how, we saw too many people within the YouTube community that of podcasters that came out and said that Kamala Harris will pivot. And I'll never forgive those people for saying that, because it was such an incorrect analysis that if you can't analyze that if you really believed that the left were going to pivot and support cryptocurrency, and you're in this crypto market and you lived through the past 3.5 years, 4 years, and you still had a wrong opinion, then think about what that means about how you interpret things and how you analyze things. Why would I then have any respect for your opinion when you were so wrong about that interpretation? It makes no sense whatsoever. But yet Chip and I have been able to analyze it, because you look at all the different factors, the political factor, the economic factor, and then there's the reality factor. So that's why we even go back to the 2020 election outcome, how that whole thing unfolded. And you still have to then take all of that into consideration in terms of the direction this country was going. Eventually, the ship has to right itself, and that's exactly what we've been seeing. That's exactly what's been happening. But and this is the true moment, the test. Especially as we've seen. Chip and I've kind of try to maintain this positivity of the growth in the space, and see, going through and cutting through all the BS. Which is very difficult, in the negative political climate. But yet, Chip, I think we've analyzed things, pretty damn well. And here we go. Things are heating up right now, right here, right now.
Myself, I don't have to say anything. Just say, that's why I put you full screen. I'm like, let's just go, Jeff.
Thank you.
With the Saturday morning rant, this is so part. As Eli Brown says, this is true talk. Dean Robinson says if he wins, he wants to donate to the first veteran who speaks up. That's pretty cool. Sologenic is also going a little mad right there.
Yep.
Me too, Alan. I don't know. ISO tokens, beautiful. So let's. I want to put this one.
Guy first. Hang on. Let me show this guy real fast. Look at that. Boom.
Typing 6 people typed in Yeti. So YETI. Type in Yeti. There's 6 people.
That word right there.
Look at that crusher, man.
Wants to win a beautiful. Look at this guy. His clan, he's in the White Tribe. He's part of the Bandits clan. He's got some cool properties here. And then when you look at that detail, look at that kick-ass knife. Yeah, is that a knife or a sword? Look at that. It's deadly.
I don't know if you broke it on something, but that thing's serrated, man. He's going to gut you for that. That's right there.
I think he hit one of the Blue Tribe guys over the head with this thing. He's probably going after one of the Mentalists, and it melted the edge of his blade. But you look at the detail on his belt. Look at that. Look at that detail. Man, you got a little bit of like paint coming off here, a little rust, a little wear on the leather. Man, guy's mean. One of the Bandits. He's in the White Tribe. Badass Yetis, White Tribe. That's what it is.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
Here we go. Let's watch this little fun song here. It's an ode to Gary Gensler.
Gary's gotta go, cause Gary doesn't know that it's time to say goodbye, Gary! Goodbye, Gary! Goodbye, so long! Gary's staff will say that his work's lazy, and he shouldn't stay. No, Gary! Gary lost in court as he lost support. See the bad reports on Gary. Goodbye, Gary. Goodbye, Gary. Goodbye, Gary. Goodbye, so long. Met with SBF, won't disclose the talks. Now he's dodging a subpoena. He laughs about his wealth while the SEC is a laughing stock. That's why Gary's gotta go. Goodbye, Gary. Goodbye, Gary. Goodbye, Gary. Goodbye. Gary's gotta go.
Sweet.
Paid for by consumer action for a strong economy.
Dude,
And,
you gotta love it. Hey man, I like this comment here. Dean Robinson. Dudes, me and my NASCAR group who invest in XRP, and we've held since the lawsuit. We're in good spirits and holding for the banks to use the tool. There you go. NASCAR group. I'm interested now to know what NASCAR group. What NASCAR group? That's pretty kick-ass.
Jeff wants to be part of that NASCAR group.
I want to be part of the NASCAR group.
This
And I'm going to the Daytona 500 again this year. I'm fired up.
Paid for it. Right there. Goodbye, Gary. Failed as chairman of the SEC. Time to go. Gensler's failures. Abuse of power, incompetence, losing record, concerning ties, bipartisan concerns. Richie Torres makes it over there. It's so weird we found this now, right? So I guess there's a bunch of videos they did on the whole Goodbye Gary.
Oh, they were
stuff,
going this whole time and we didn't even know about it? Oh, man.
This happened. This video happened to my feed. It's called Consumer Action for a Strong Economy, CASA. Well, there you go. They had Goodbye Gary. And he is gonzo. Gonzo.
Dean, they RV travel and they go race to race. So they'll be at the 500 in the inner zone. I've stayed in that inner circle there. It's such a blast. It's crazy. The party that goes on at the 500 all night long. It's crazy.
The race ends.
So much fun over there. What's that?
When the race ends, I'm out. I'm done. I want to leave. I don't want to be trapped in the center for another.
Well, that's the thing. So we got there. We'd get there. There's people there that are there the whole week. We got there Friday night, and then we're there for the race Saturday. And you're hanging out, watching the race, and you're in the inner zone there. And there's all sorts of parties going on. And then Sunday after the race, people are leaving. We stayed one time. We stayed until Monday. One time we left Sunday when it died down, but we woke up Sunday morning and it was just like crickets. There were still a bunch of people there. But it was really a blast. Like Saturday morning was fun. You wake up and they do the big announcement early in the morning, and people are fired up and energized, and we're cooking over a stove, making coffee and stuff. And man, there was
the race itself. You watch two cars go around. You're like, "Where's the beer? What kind of whiskey do you have?"
And watch. You can't watch the race just in the stands. Yeah,
that's what it's about. It's like who's doing, then you're like, it's just about the community having a good time talking here, and you're like, okay, so let's see, what should I follow up that whiskey with? Maybe I'll try a nice scotchy poo, Well,
that's why you go to the fan zone, or if you're in the inner circle, you go back, you can watch it from the inner circle, but you go to the fan zone, hang out. They have massive, you go walk around, go to the pits, go to the garages. They have elevated platforms to watch from. You can the infield. I couldn't think of the word, that whole infield area, but the fan zone's a blast. But the fun is like in the evenings. So there's this group, they had a fire truck. They converted it into a party truck, and they had like massive speakers and dancing.
I mean,
it's a big party.
Like 5 laps. I'd be okay. Good. Now what are we going to do? Like what, the whole thing. It's just too much,
hard.
Man.
It's hard to sit there. Yeah, it's hard to sit there and watch the race because you can't see. The cars go by so fast. It's like zip, 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 and then 30 seconds later they come back again. So it is really difficult to watch that. Well, that's why you got to walk around.
Be honest with you, like I went to a Bills game in Baltimore with buddies. It was more or less, let's go hang out. Let's go get it. We got a big tent right in there. Bills gear right. They have like a whole tent zone in Baltimore. You can put up stuff. We had a tent and a bar and that's what it was all about, hanging out, having food, having a drink. We went and watched the game. The Bills got destroyed, right? And dude, I like half the time, because when you're watching it on TV, there's like commercials and you're like fixing a drink, or you're making some food, eating some wings, right? Or you're in a bar and you're talking with people. But when you're at the game and it's like, it's just a lot of waiting around. It's like
a lot of downtime.
You're waiting, like you're not paying attention. All of a sudden you hear everybody crowd yelling. You're like, what happened? You watch a bunch of little guys in the field, even though we had great seats, you watch them running around, and I'm watching the freaking monitor the whole time. Let's see what's going on. I'm like, this is dumb. Football is the best, and I always feel like NASCAR, like, because you have all of the, and that's why some people will, listen to it because they want to hear what's going on, because it's hard to see what's going on. But it almost seems like it's better watching it on television. Formula One, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's the energy. It's the energy, the passion. Thing is, the people there are great. The before show is great. I've been to Homestead, been to the Daytona track. I watched. I saw the Indy race, Belle Isle, Detroit. Now they race downtown. Wanted to go to Formula One here in Miami. That would be a blast. I mean, there's so many great things to
Let's
do.
go.
It's just fun being on the track. That's
bring it back over here. Brian Stelter, who got fired from CNN. Mark Dice always does his voice like this. The New York Times calls it the landslide that wasn't. He always does that funny Stelter voice. The latest count shows President-elect Trump won by the popular vote by one of the smallest margins since the 19th century, but he claims a powerful mandate. So, Jeff, this right here is the new narrative that's being pushed. The Democrats lost the House, the Senate, the presidency, and even the popular vote. So to try to soften the blow, they're clinging to the idea that the margins weren't bigger. They were the smallest in the 19th century. And meanwhile, we're partying like it was 1999. But then let's call it a landslide. Let's call it what it was. It's a landslide victory. Nobody
Thank you
would win the popular vote. Not everybody thought he would also win the Senate. A lot of people didn't think he would hold the House. And most of the crypto bros who were like, but there's going to be a pivot, especially that, Mark Cuban, who was like stepped in it time and time again. This is the madness you were referring to earlier, Jeff. If the writing's on the wall, you have to walk into a room and learn how to read it. And saying like things, there's no way you're going to put an imbecile in the White House. We just lived through 4 years of an imbecile being in there. Okay, he makes Jimmy Carter look like a great president. Makes George W. Bush look like a great president, right? I mean, that's how sad. Obama shows up. Biden. My God. But Biden got more votes than Obama, who was a great communicator, who had the cult of personality, who had the hope and change message that resonated. Right? He had the messaging down, but a guy who couldn't get out of his basement got more votes than Obama. Sure. Okay. So and Jeff, let's just look at the chart again, can we? Let's just look at how beautiful this chart is. 312 to 226, dude. Now, what planet do you live on? That's not our route. Look at that, dude.
It was.
Look at that. It almost picked up Virginia. I was lost that by a little bit. But look at the swing states. You got Georgia, you got Pennsylvania, Ohio's been in that category for a little bit, but you also have Wisconsin and Michigan. Dude, who thought? I mean, you and I were pretty bullish on it, but a lot of people are like, there's no way. I'm like, are you paying attention? Are you reading what's going on?
That's right.
Of course, this right here could just be cut right off. You can cut it right here. You can probably just cut and just let it drop in the ocean.
We don't really need it so much. But if you look at the more micro view of California, you'll see it's mostly red also. The only blue in California is along the coast in certain cities. And so they don't really have this state. They have cities. In each one of these areas, they have big pockets, or they have pockets within the cities. Yeah, look at that. Did you expect that?
Alaska, no. Hawaii, I expected, but Alaska, I was a little bit surprised about that too. But it's just amazing. And look at this. You can chop this part off and this part over here, and then we'll reconcile over here. Colorado, bunch of nut jobs. That's right. That's true.
Yeah,
Darren, it's a good point. That's a good point.
But here's the biggest issue. WF says, "Where will I get my almonds?" Well, that's a good point. So
look at this guy. Denver Mayor Mike Johnson says he'll deploy cops, 50,000 volunteer citizens in a Tiananmen Square moment to stop President Trump's mass deportation plans.
Why do I have a feeling the police won't? There's no way. There's no way.
This is like more gaslighting. This douchebag will do none of that. You want to know why? Because it's federal law. Federal law trumps, a great word to use, trumps state law. And this douchebag is talking out his ass. And when it comes down to it, he's a little pussy and he's not going to do anything. So I said, please go ahead. By all means, break federal law. I triple dog dare you to do it. Please, I want you to be out there. I want you to get arrested.
That's a true insurrection. What he's calling for is a true insurrection, because that's going after, against federal, federal policy, protecting people that came in that illegally entered this country and broke our laws, and he's going to protect them. And then he wants to amass people, and he's threatening to have armed, people on the streets to, confront the government in that case. That, so it just like that one woman in PA from the council there, or from the voting, the judges, whatever, and she was on that board. She came out and said that that laws have been broken, and she's breaking this law because of whatever. And then she came down in tears, backing down off of that, because it's like, well, yeah, you said something, you shouldn't have said that, and now you're gonna get, there's gonna be some punishment as a direct result. So
if you break the law, you're going to jail. There's a lot of people in PA that are going to jail. You broke the law, you went against the Supreme Court ruling, you're going to jail. Guns and XRP got this semi right. He said, good luck, dipshit. It's 49 states against 1, but it's not, because you have the AG of California who's also pledging to not comply. It's basically all the leftist states, right? I think Illinois, you got Pritzker up there. He's saying he's not going to comply. Good luck. Please, by all means, do it. And you want to see how much the cops are going to turn on you? They're not going to stand out there. They're not going to break federal law. Why would they break federal law? They don't want to go to jail. It's just beautiful. It's such... Trump isn't even president yet. We got 40 years of this guy, and he's not. We have another, month and a half before he becomes president.
Yeah, and I find what's gonna be amazing moving forward is that they're already putting government agencies on the chopping block. Most of them. There's a lot of talk about getting rid of the federal income tax. There's a lot of talk about shredding the IRS, or at least shrinking it down in size. And Darren brings up a really good point, putting voting on the blockchain, one person, one vote, counted, unchangeable, and there you go. Plus there's a trace. We can track where that vote came from, when it was placed, how it was placed. There's so many mechanisms to put that in, and we need that at this point, because we want one person, one vote, and let's record it. I want a recording of it. I want to know that my vote counted, and I want to have a receipt, and I want the receipt. It's not good enough that, they say there's a receipt, so let's record it as we come out, know that, boom, here you go. There's your receipt, and you voted, and there we have it. I like Darren's comment on that. I want to see that happen, and make sure that we see a lot going into full transparency. And that's what it's all about. It's all about transparency, not forcing people into compliant, individuals. If you don't want to vote, don't vote. But we want full transparency of everything that's happening, within government. I want to know their full budget. I want to know how they spend, where they spend, how much they spend. I want it all immutable. It's going to be critical. And Chip, I just want to bring up one point. XRP's at $1.55. What was that when we started? $1.53. The positivity of the stream.
We have to stream more, Jeff.
We do.
We have to do more of this. So what do you think? Michael Saylor was on Pat Bet David, and I want you to listen to this.
I do think that it's better for the world if we have hundreds of thousands of digital assets created, launched, and I'd like to see the industry go from $1 trillion of digital assets to $500 trillion of digital assets that are tokenized.
Could there come a time where you're pro Ripple, and maybe even to the point that you recommend clients to it? Is there a possibility?
I'm Bitcoin only, 100%. Like, the truth is, I wouldn't even recommend Apple stock. Like, there's no security. I'm not going to recommend
0% chance.
Yeah, like I wouldn't recommend a security, because there's a counterparty to a security. But the position is,
still thinking there's a counterparty. This is to
like, it's, if you came public and you had your own security or token or whatever you had, I wouldn't recommend you either. But it's not because I'm not in favor of your business. I just think that you have to stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Well, I honestly, the way Pat Bet David answered that question, he asked about Ripple. Would you support Ripple? Mm-hmm. And well, Ripple is even a private company. You can't buy shares in there. So you can't buy a security security. But he's kind of right. Like, you wouldn't support Ripple, the private, centralized company, but he really ought to have asked about XRP. So he kind of like,
I don't think he understands either. He didn't dig enough into that question or into the facts of his own question when he asked it. And that's, I don't understand. I don't know where the misunderstanding is on it. Still, I understand where it was back in 2017, 2018. Fast forward 6 years, and I don't get it. It's very clear that Ripple is a company. XRP is a digital asset. There, a lot of the media outlets, even the Cointelegraph types, that come out, will still call it Ripple, and they'll put in parentheses XRP. It will be XRP in parentheses Ripple or something along those lines. I'm not saying Cointelegraph specific, but those types of sites, that
Satoshi said Scottie Pippen. That's funny as hell. So Jeff, if you were a guy and you were like a complete shyster, and you look like you were doing a press conference from Smiling Ted's Auto, Gavin Newsom is so fake looking. Like, when I show you this bit, like when I show you this press conference, he's standing in back from a car. It looks like he's on Smiling Ted's used car lot, and he's got a deal for you. The guy is such a shyster. He's so fake. He's so plastic. His hair looks like it's sprayed on. Like, everything about this guy just reeks. But listen to what he had to say, and tell me if you think there's sincerity in this, Jeff. Please tell me.
I'm not looking. It's not about voters.
Look at this guy. Well, just listen to him. Look at him the way he's dressed. He's standing at a car lot, Smiling Ted's used cars.
Not about voters.
It's not about voters. I care about people. I don't care who you voted for.
Oh, really?
I care about people. I care about Trump supporters. I care about RFK Jr. supporters. I care about Tucker Carlson supporters. I care about Charlie Kirk supporters. I care about Ben Shapiro supporters. I care about all people. I care about the people living here in the Sierra, folks down in San Diego where I just was, or in my backyard in Fair Oaks, California. I care about people, and I care about protecting them, their public safety, and their public health. And I care about being honest with them as well, and level setting with them. This is not an academic exercise. We had the experience with Donald Trump. Don't fall.
It was glorious.
Sort of,
and that's why we're slashing prices.
Somehow, this is some new day. Listen to what these
free
guys
oil
are saying and telling you. Look at what they're prepared to do day one, January 20th, 21st. Get prepared, and no impact will be greater than the impact in this region. And there may be a lot more Trump supporters here, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to still have.
What matters?
No way, dude.
The golden age, dude, they're done for like the next 3-4 voting cycles. Okay, no one's gonna because who are they gonna? They're saying AOC like the next big thing they want to hype. I'm like, you went from dumb and dumber to dumber and dumber, right? I mean, holy cow.
They're so useless. Put that guy. He knows his career's over too. Where's he gonna go now? There's nothing. There's nothing left for him. California needs to get rid of him also. There's some shenanigans going on in that state. They got to really look internally and uncover the nonsense. So
I want to put this on. This is Cenk Uygur, right? He's from the Young Turks, right? This is the guy that had the meltdown during the 26th thing and was swearing, F this, I can't believe Trump, God damn it. When Hillary's her chances were going down. But this is interesting to see, because I kind of like to see what's going on. This is more of how big the winning has been.
Undercoating.
You got to have the undercoating, right?
Got to get the undercoating.
I mean, the guy, he's in front of a car. I mean, he looks like a shyster used car sales guy. And my God, does he live up to it? But let's watch.
He just bought a $9 million home on a government salary.
Sure. Right.
That you sent. This is the tweet that you sent. That's very controversial. Let's put it up here. Hey, Elon Musk, put me in charge of the Pentagon. I'll slash $400 billion easy. That'll get you 20% to your goal of $2 trillion right out of the gate. I went to Wharton 3 years before you. I own a media company, so I know how to run a business. If you really want to cut, put me in coach. Elon Musk actually responded and said, specific suggestions are welcome. What is the problem?
Yeah, I can't imagine what the problem is. What I'm telling the left is take the win. It's not that complicated. So they say, well, look, they're not really going to do it. Well, then if they don't do it, then we'll call them out on it. Again, where's the problem? Oh, they were actually going to cut Medicare and Medicaid. That's probably true, and it's very likely, and we'll fight them on that. But why would we fight them on a thing we agree on? So we've been wanting to cut the Pentagon for decades on the left, and there's a reason for that too. It's because that is where the biggest fraud and abuse are. Because anytime you go to cut the Pentagon, they go, "Oh, you're going to endanger national security. Oh my God, all of our lives are going to be lost if you cut it by $1." That's why they stuff all the pork in the Pentagon. If they're going to cut, they got to cut at the Pentagon. And now we're having a conversation. And by the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene today, when talking about how she's going to head up the Doge committee in the House, said one of the first places to cut is the Pentagon. The rest of the left, please take the win.
Do you think it's just, hey, we can't even entertain a conversation with Elon Musk or the Donald Trump administration? Do you think that this is he just won the election. Is there a lesson that has to be learned right now? Do you think it's just we can't even look like we're cooperating whatsoever?
Yeah, that's a lot of it. And there's a lot of spite out there. But I just can't understand the logic of it. If they do something wrong, you call them out. If they do something right, you give them credit. It's just common sense. And guys, there's another element to it. I have run the largest online network, period, but certainly the largest on the left, and no one would dispute that. And a Democratic leader has never asked me, "Hey, any suggestions? Hey, we'd like to cut the Pentagon." I mean, when's the last time a Democratic leader said that? And, oh, my God, we'd like to talk to our base and find out how we can cut the Pentagon. And by the way, when Elon asked, I gave him a suggestion of why don't we ban conflict of interest that the generals have. Don't let them go to defense contractors after they retire, because
Don Jr. agreed with you on that. Don Jr. agreed with you on that.
Yeah.
Find common ground.
That's right. And look, I reached out. I said, if you guys are genuine about this, let's actually do this. As you see, I've got the tweet up there. I said they authorize so much wasteful spending because they're going to get hired by those same companies. And Don Jr. said this is a great idea that has been discussed.
So let me ask you this.
Fantastic.
This is the change. This is the change for the golden age, man. This is This is one of the most ultra left. And then Anna, what's her name? Anna G, whatever, Gaspar, whatever. I don't know how to say her last name. But she's also making a pivot too. These are ultra leftists, dude, that are just figuring out how they can work. And they're like, hey,
they're going to get crushed.
To us and said, hey, base, what kind of suggestions do you have? What should we be thinking about when we're putting our platform together? And the crypto bros yelled, pivot to crypto positively. And then they went, nothing, not on the thing, right? So I see this as being so monumental. This golden age 4-year period we're entering is going to be phenomenal. Anyone who's alive on Earth today is going to be good. And the thing about it is, it's not Trump. It's policy. It's Elon Musk. It's it's all these. It's the A team that he's putting together. Because let's face it, he made a lot of mistakes in his first term. He didn't know how to govern. He never ran the government. He didn't know how slimy it was. He didn't know how backstabbers either. He's figured it out, right? He's putting people, and a good businessman that wins, or good businesswoman that wins, knows how to hire the right people that are smarter and better than them. That's what Trump is doing right now, and that's why the A team is coming in, and that's why it's going to be great. It's not Trump. Trump is just the guy, he's the figurehead, but he's the guy with the ideas. But the people that are really going to flesh this out are the people like the Scott Bessent that's going to go into the Treasury, who's pro crypto, who's pro economic growth, who's pro, innovation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's so impressive to see how scared the left are, because they're trying to fight for relevancy. Because if things were flipped, if the narrative was flipped, and anybody on the right would come out and say, "Hey, these are my ideas," they would ignore them, right? Because that's how the left is. The left had no desire whatsoever to try to look for any type of positive or commonality to say, hey, let's try to get this thing together. They did the polar opposite. They did everything in their power to make sure that they did not incorporate any of the ideas, to the detriment of this country. And so now when we're seeing the narrative is going in the direction that you and I said it was going to go in, they're all begging and they're crawling and they're coming out of their holes, trying to make peace somehow. Because these people in the media on the left, they were so wrong on every account. And that guy from the Turks, he's so wrong on almost every issue. I don't think there's any issues he's right on. He's been wrong on everything, and he's looking for relevancy. He said he has one of the biggest media followings on the left. That's probably true. He probably does, but he's not relevant anywhere else. And when he's on all these other shows, he's on the wrong side of history on every issue. But the fact that he's now coming out and making these, and actually, he's willing to step out of his shell a little bit. And that's the one thing I've always said, the people, when they lose their way on the left, we can shun them and shut the door and never accept them back in, or we can wait with open arms, because at some point they come back to the fold because they realized their follies. They realized how wrong they were and how off base they were, that they were following a herd and they were doing it for whatever, purpose, many times just to follow, or they're, because that's their whole agenda. They were afraid to even step outside of the community mindset, the community mind. But we have to wait with open arms, and here we are waiting with open arms, and try to find the commonality, because really it's a country of all of, we all benefit from being in this country, and we have to work together. There has to be commonality, and we want an agenda where we're shrinking government. We need all participants to jump on board. So I'm glad, even though he's been on wrong and everything, he's right on this account. I like seeing that he's coming out with his narrative in public, to actually vocalize that he wants to work and find commonality, and saying, hey, everybody on the left, get on board with this, because this is what you have to do. It's a wake-up moment. We've seen so many people go through this wake-up moment, and it's really, really impressive when they start going down this path to that wake-up moment. So
Donald Trump, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, all former Democrats. What does that say? What does that tell you, right? They were all Democrats at once in their life. And the people waking up. And you talked about not being able to read the tea leaves, right? After we just saw this monumental election where people are tired of the woke stuff, they're tired of like the 0.5% getting shoved in our face nonstop. There was somebody out there that missed this, and that was Jaguar. And this is the ad that they put out there that they thought was phenomenal, and they're doubling down on it. So this is the ad.
Shut the music off. This has nothing to do with anything except for ruining a brand. Totally ruined their brand.
Don't worry, nobody's going to copy this. And then the new logo is just disgusting. It's
new logo is horrible.
Jeff,
how could you ruin it so badly?
Somebody did an interpretation of the ad, though. Look at this. the Jaguar.
I like that a lot better. Now that is funny. Now, I'll tell you what, that will sell the car. That shows you the Jaguar's badass and is coming in to disrupt. That to me would sell cars. The other thing, it's like people are watching it like, I'll never I'll never sit in a Ford ever, or in a Jaguar ever again. And their Jaguar lost traction years ago. But to that point, that shows that it's badass. I like that.
Yeah. So this guy, watch this guy said, I'm gonna show you how easy it is to make a new Jaguar logo. Here we go.
Fix the new Jaguar logo. A day ago, we were introduced to this. There's all sorts of issues, the kerned out spacing, the capital G among the lowercase letters, the fashion models. The only thing historical that has any brand equity is this Jaguar hidden in these lines, but you can't see the damn thing. Let's fix that. So I took this guy and I traced him. It's kind of jagged, a little funky. The geometry is not great. So I fixed all that and made it sleek, aggressive, and fast. And then I looked at the typography and color from the past and was inspired by that to create this mark.
Wow.
Inspired by the future. Electric, but historically inspired. Nice. This is my idea for the new.
What a great way to promote your business, huh?
That guy crushed it. He just embarrassed the hell out of them. Came out with something that was freaking amazing. I just had the right spin on it. Man,
I love these. I just love what's going on. Tata stock, of course. And this is so weird for, especially, so I remember back in the day, I've hired a lot of people, but I had this one guy that was from India, and he, I don't know, something came up about a gay conversation. He said, there are no gays in India. I'm like, what do you mean there's no gays in India? Of course there are. He's like, no, there's none. I'm like, dude, there are. You just don't know about it, but there's gays in India. He's like, we'd have 0 gays. Nobody's gay in India. And then like to have that kind of mindset and then watch something like this from an Indian, I don't know, somebody's heads are going to roll. And the problem is like Bud Light, they didn't learn from like what happened to Bud Light and all these other companies. The thing is like, we just had a mandate. People got said like, dude, I'm tired of this stuff. Why don't you do stuff for the masses? We don't want to see this stuff. The new Volvo commercial was phenomenal. It's too long to play here, but the new Volvo was like, it was like captured a spirit of a family, and they want to drive. Volvo's always been this safe car to drive, and it's always been known for its safety features. The way they demonstrated it was so clever in this ad. You guys can go Google it, but the new Volvo ad makes you almost want to buy that car. It's like what we used to have in advertising thought, but it puts a bunch of woke bullshit and colors for what? For the meaning of what?
Destroy your brand.
Destroy your brand. It's a masterclass on how to destroy an iconic brand. This is what they're sort of going for. It's Jim D.
Jim D is back after he sold all his bags and showed up. Man, Jim D.
Jeff, you want to see what's headed to the border right now?
Well, let's see that, and then we got to do a drawing.
That's headed to the border right now. But we were told, remember how they were gaslighting us? And it was perfectly safe.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
We got on TV. Harris went on TV and told us that the border was safe and the lockdown. Meanwhile, all you do is put cameras trying to get in before Trump's office.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and let's get that drawing going. Everybody type in YETI, YETI. Jim Foamwood back in.
Jim, you missed it if you were here earlier. So it was just funny because we were trying to see where you were. John D is here, in which we said, not Jim D. And then Alchemist said you sold your bags, and that was it. So
he was up all night watching the price action.
That was it. Jim D. You got to go back and watch it. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, we've got 17 in here. Let me go ahead and share the screen here.
Come on, everybody. We have 93 people watching on YouTube right now. We had over almost 300 over on X. So jump in, go ahead and type in YETI, and then we're going to do a drawing. Let me show you what we're doing the NFT drawing for, just so you guys figure this out. It's a badass.
Zoom in on that.
Right. It's one of the white tribe badass Yetis. This is a bandit. The bandit. The other day we gave away blue tribe guy. Today's the white tribe guy, and we're going to keep doing that. We have a lot of great of these NFTs we want to get in front of you guys. We got a couple others that we'll be rolling out in the near future. Chip and I put all this work and great things together in and around the Badass Yeti project. Man, the last couple years of uncertainty within the crypto regulatory space has made things really, really complex. But now I think we have going to breathe some new life into this whole project, and we're so proud of what we put together here. It's just like the details of each one of these Badass Yetis is just really kick-ass.
Stunning. Ray Run says Yeti more times than one. You can, but it only records at once. So if you keep typing Yeti, you'll see that it says 20 people up here. Let me show this. So it says 20 people, right?
I don't have a fancy Roman wallet. So you need get your Zaman wallet address, because as soon as we do the drawing, just make sure you have the Zaman wallet address. When the winner, we'll have you put it into the comments. We're going to transfer it right away. So
you got a 1 in 20 chance of going. That's pretty damn good, even though there's a here. Let's do this. Ready? Let's draw. Let's see who's going to win. Hang on. Let me get rid of this distraction. Ready? Let's go.
Go. Look at that. Sweet.
Let's see who we got. Who's going to win it today? Who's going to win it? Boom. Devon.
What is up, man? And come back tomorrow night. So that's Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next show. We'll also have another drawing tomorrow evening. But Devon,
we have Mel Carmine, the infamous
Mel Carmine.
Here
we'll
today.
be doing a drawing for a blue tribe Yeti.
He's going to be bringing some stuff that you're not going to want to miss this. He's going to be going off. And yeah, some people think he's a little bit cuckoo, but he's predicted a lot of stuff. So let's just, I think it's going to be great. I love Mel. I had a chance to meet Mel in person. We talk a lot. I had a chance to meet him up in Atlanta, and it was a fantastic, fantastic meeting. Had dinner together. It was really great. And met his wife, and finally I've been talking to him for years, so it's great to have him back on the show. He's agreed to come back on the show tomorrow. I've been trying to get him on for a while now. He's just super busy. His channel is blowing up. He's got a lot of cool stuff going on, so it'll be fun to have him on. We're going to be bringing some other cool guests on as well. We want to have Rob Cunningham on here in the coming weeks as well. Rob's a cool dude. But again, we can go ahead and I like what somebody said earlier. We're going to be able to do this this bull run. We should see some, even counter to what YouTube crushes us. We should see the channel start taking off, because it's going to connect with the people who are freedom lovers, that love, decentralization, that love crypto, that love freedom, that love geopolitical space, that, lean more on the conservative side. This is the podcast for you.
It is for you and for all your people, for your inner circle, for those that you care the most about. That's what this is all about. Devon, make sure you throw in your Zaman wallet address into the chat here so we can grab it. We want to transfer this badass Yeti over to you. So if you could do that real quick, that would be really key.
No. Mel's a straight shooter, man. I've known Mel for years. He's a loon. Well, good. Come on tomorrow and you can have some fun. But Mel, I don't know, man. He's an interesting dude, and we talk a lot. And believe it or not, the guy is. I don't think he's a loon. You may or may not like him, but he's a good dude. He's coming on.
Come on. Yeah, we need to get that.
All right, let's go.
I'm having a party. We need the.
Still here? If he's not still here,
come on. He's here. Devon's here, but he just hasn't given us his address.
Okay, we just need you to give
Devon, we need you to give us the address, the Zaman wallet. Zaman.
Yeah, he's like that in person, like the same guy you see on the podcast. That's Mel, same dude. I can even hear his voice when we text each other. I can hear Mel's voice. And I said we were gonna try to get him on, but he was traveling. I'm like, no, we need the big chair, dude. We got to have the big chair on the show. So come on tomorrow night, 8:00. We're gonna have a great show. It's just going to be Mel's going to be presenting some stuff. We're going to be chatting about stuff, talk about the election, we'll talk about what's upcoming. And yeah, he has some ideas that maybe, are a little bit out there. And maybe I'm sometimes even hard to believe him. But you know what? He's predicted a lot of stuff too. So, who knows? I think it's a great to get different of opinion on the show. And I think that's what we really want. We want to see something, and, we'll ask him questions and we'll test it. But it's going to be good. It'll be a good one tomorrow night. Top marks. We got top marks again, Jeff, from Chad.
Top marks. We get top marks. Thank you. Appreciate that.
13 dragon right there.
Got 1 minute, and then I got to roll.
Yeah. By the way,
roll.
You need to put that in there. And by the way, Elon Musk changed his profile because they were making fun of him on The View. They called him he believes in dragons. He's crazy. And he goes, I'm going to put this in my profile. His profile says dragon believer.
Dragon believer. You got to love it.
This is how you have fun with it. And you learn one thing, that the left just doesn't know how to meme because they don't have senses of humor. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming in here. Really appreciate you guys. Mel is genuine, man. He's the real deal. I'm telling you what, he's the real deal. He's got a heart of gold too, this guy. I know him probably in a way that many of you don't, but he's got a heart of gold. And he's a true dude. And he's funny as hell. Guy makes me laugh my ass off. So it's good. Mel will be on here tomorrow.
Let me check.
Get my address? No, I don't see it.
Where did you put it? Did you put it in the chat? Or did you send it to our?
I think those numbers. Did
it block it? Sometimes it filters it out. Let me go to regular YouTube. I don't understand why it does that.
Because it thinks it's spam.
YouTube lets other stuff in, but then it filters out the very stuff that we asked for. Like the AI should be listening, paying attention.
No, it doesn't pay attention. Yeah, it's in the chat. Unfortunately, the chat that we see here, it's filtered.
Let me go. I'll find out how to get to it. Hang on. Let me see if I can log in without being in the back end here.
Your phone ringing, dude?
Yeah, I gotta run.
Well, let's Let's get this out.
How am I gonna? Here we go. Let me see. There it is. I got it. All right. Let me take care of this. Got it. All right. Sweet.
So you're the proud owner of that bandit. The bandit. Babylon the bandit.
Bandit. It's on its way. And then I gotta, as soon as I transfer this, I got to run. So I'm gonna.
Okay. Well, before you do that, I'm gonna put look who's back, Joe.
The Bitcoin boys, we all gonna make it. Bitcoin boys, niggas going to the moon. We are the Bitcoin boys, we all gonna make it. Bitcoin boys, get all time highs real soon. 100K.
You guys know that they're 5 minutes
All right, that's it. It's on its way.
There we go.
100K, 100K.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. Appreciate all the contributors today that kind of came in here. John D got it started. Good morning. We got Rough Reekin that popped in over here.
I'm out. You got to roll it.
Guys, thank you for the support. Gentleman, he's got to rock out of here. I'm going to end it here, but Jeff's got to go. He's got a hard stop. He had a hard stop at 9, and the last time I checked, it's 9:30. So thanks for staying on, Jeff. Appreciate that. And we're going to get out of here, guys. But come on tomorrow night. Mel Carmine, the one and only. He's going to be here tomorrow night. We're going to have a great show, great stuff. Want to hear from you guys. You guys drive a lot of the questions that we're going to be able to ask. And let's jump in here. It's bound to be a fun night. Super looking forward to this. Been trying to get on Mel back on, but he's a busy dude, and it's hard to land his schedule. But he's agreed to come on the show tomorrow night, which is super exciting. So that's all I know. I'm going to go ahead. I'm trying to get us out of here as soon as I can find the right button. That's the right button over here. But that's it, guys. Go have a great weekend. Continue the winning. Continue to watch the charts. Know what you hold. You know, if it's Bitcoin, sweet. If it's Ethereum, I don't care what you hold. I'm agnostic. If you're XRP, if you're XLM, doesn't matter. But you know what? You believe in decentralization. You believe in a different market, and we're going to get there, man. Let's go. You ready? See you later. Chip and Jeff.
Oh. Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.